All right, welcome back to another episode of the Kitchen Table Podcast. We've got a very special guest today, all the way from right up the street, Baltimore. But we've got Manny in the house. Manny, thank you so much for coming today, my friend.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's your boy Manny ThaGod. We're at the Kitchen Table Podcast. There's no kitchen table in here, so this is some bluffing ass shit. But
no, there is none. But there's not even a kitchen table in the kitchen. There's a ping pong table. But we are a sales organization, so
facts.
Which I just found out like 10 minutes ago. You have a door-to-door sales resume.
Yeah, I was a door-to-door salesman. That's honestly, door-to-door sales was where I would practice a lot of my stand-up jokes.
Really?
Yeah. So when I first started doing comedy, I was strictly doing stand-up in Pittsburgh, because that's where I ran an office doing sales for Verizon. And so
this makes way more sense. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I would go to the field and like test jokes on customers, and if it led to a sale, I would keep the joke. If they didn't laugh or something, I would just delete it.
So you had a real formula. You were like, all right, look, I'm going to test this out of the door. If it's trash, I'm going to know because I won't get.
Exactly.
So you were making money and knowing what was or wasn't a good joke.
Exactly. So that's why when I got on stage, I already knew like what was going to hit and what wasn't.
If you're listening to this and you're a prospective entrepreneur, I hope you're taking notes, because it's that type of, some people just tend to have like that natural hustle ability or that natural sales ability, and that would be a perfect example, because that's somebody who's making time is the one thing we can't get more of.
Right.
It's arguably the most valuable resource we've got.
That's
my man's out here. All right, I have my passion and I have what's making me money right now. I'm going to combine the two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the thing is, it was like for me, it was like I always been like a hustler. Like since I was a kid, like I would mow lawns. I used to sell water, like at the intersection right there in front of Morgan State on what's that road? Right there on Cold Spring. Me and my sister every summer, like for like 3 summers straight, we would make like $500 a day.
Really?
Selling water, yeah.
What?
We was trapping that block. That was like, and then
you're
like
selling water.
Yeah, if like homeless people came around, we would push them off the block. Like, no, you can't.
You can't do that.
You cannot beg right here. This is a money block right here.
Which unfortunately, that's exactly what I would have been doing in Baltimore at that time. You might even have seen me.
Nah, that's crazy. But I always like knew how to sell and like talk to people. So when I first started doing door-to-door sales, I was 19 years old. I had just got kicked out of the Naval Academy. I was depressed.
What?
Yeah. I went to McDonough, and then I went to the Naval Academy.
Okay. Wow.
And then they kicked me out because I wouldn't snitch on my friends. Like it was like a situation where I got in trouble for drinking, and then they wanted to know everybody's name that was drinking. I just told them it wasn't nobody else, and they found out it was other people. So it was like I got an honor offense on top of like the disorderly conduct. So it was like it's a double whammy right there. Plus being black, they not going for that, because I got in trouble with somebody who like his father was an admiral in the Navy. So it was like
I'm sure
he wasn't going nowhere, but me, I was the example. So they kicked me out. I was depressed. And I started going to Towson, but then I was like, I'm not trying to be broke in college. Like, that's stupid. So I was like looking for a job.
Most people do.
Yeah, and the door-to-door companies, they don't tell you like it's door-to-door sales until you come up in that motherfucker.
No, they do not. That is called a bait and switch.
Like they go like the website though was cool though. It was like a simple ass website. It was Advantage Concepts. Mike Lay, that's still my mentor to this day. But it was a dude on a motorcycle. That was the picture. And then another picture with a dude with his feet up on the desk. And I was like, this shit look cool. I'll apply right here. They called me. I went in there. When I did my interview, I was like, look, I don't have no real sales experience, but I'm like, I can learn. You feel me? I told him in the interview, I was like, if you hire me, that'd be the best decision you ever made. And he tried to fear of loss me. You know how they, he tried, we'll call you. So, but before I did my final interview in the lobby, it was like 8 people in there, and they all looked more qualified, because I didn't have no suit or nothing. I had like a sweater on, so I start just nagging people out about the job. I'm like, damn, they told y'all it's door-to-door sales. And then like somebody was like, what? Like she got up and left. And then I was like, and it's all commission. Like, if you don't sell, you don't get no money. And so, like, 3 people walked out. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm getting this fucking job. I'm like, I'm getting this. So then by the end of it was only me and I think it was just me left. Like, I think everybody.
So you literally hustled. That's
I hustled
brilliant,
everybody
really.
out the job. So then when he came out, he called somebody else's name, and I was like, I think he went to his car or something. So then he was like, all right, well, come on back. So I had already knew he was gonna give me the job because I didn't know they interview every day. So in my head, I'm like, they only hiring who's at this interview pool. So I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I'm definitely getting the job. So then he hired me on the spot, and then, I mean, from there it was history. I ended up getting promoted. I went to Richmond. My team leader got promoted. He ran an office down there. Then I got promoted out of his office. And then I opened up Siege Management in Pittsburgh and ran that. So made a ton of money.
I bet you did.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of the thing about door-to-door sales, man. And I mean, that's how this whole podcast got started, which is a really, I mean, since then the niche has expanded too. We've had authors. I mean, shit, we had the mayor of Annapolis on the podcast. We had senator on the podcast, or at least what was his name?
Running for Senate.
Marcellus.
Yeah, Marcellus.
He's running now again in PG County, but not for Senate. But shout out Marcellus. But we just the demographic has expanded. Like anybody trying to pursue the highest form of self, right? Like
yeah.
You know, whether they're looking to, we've had people on to get your fitness right.
Yeah.
Because I think all of that ties in. You know what I'm saying?
It all ties in. I feel
what you're doing right now, by the way.
Yeah.
I watch your journey on that right now.
I feel like sales, like if you do door-to-door sales, that will really teach you how to deal with challenges in general. Like, you don't even realize when you're doing door-to-door sales, you really get dropped off in a neighborhood with just your phone and a tablet and a map.
Cold, hot, doesn't
You feel
matter.
what I'm saying? It don't matter. So it's like, you got to really learn how to solve problems. You feel what I'm saying? If you hot, that means you got to talk better to get in the house with some AC. If you cold, same story. If you hungry, you got to know how to ask for food. You got to ask for everything out there because you literally alone, unless you want to be a piece of shit and like walk to Dunkin' Donuts. But
which there are those people, by
there
the
are
way.
people that
but
do
they're
that.
Broke.
But they broke, though.
They're broke.
So it's like, if
They're
you
broke.
don't have no money, you got to figure that shit out. It'll start raining out there. You feel what I'm saying? People telling you no. So you got to learn how to maintain your attitude and just keep going. So it's like doing that and then jumping into comedy. It's like, it was the same realm. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's nothing but rejection at first.
Rejection, yeah.
Because not only do you get rejected by like clubs because they don't know you, you feel what I'm saying? But you'll get rejected by other comedians that might be gatekeeping stuff. So it's like, you got to seek out information that people might be hiding from you. So it's like, it's a different world, but then it's like the same type of challenges as well. And then when I jumped online, you know, it took like a year for me to really master content, like making content itself.
Yeah.
And then like another probably 6 months to go viral for the first time.
I was going to actually segue to that. I mean, so like that's what I, you know, before I knew that you were even more appropriately suited, man, like what I was really impressed with is, I was telling you on the phone, I've spent, I mean, I think we know exactly what it is. It's damn near 500,000 in coaching, and
that's what I'm saying. You could have gave me that 500 bands.
Yeah.
I'd have taught you some shit.
I mean, I didn't spend it all at one
I know.
but like, you know, 50 here, 25 there, 100 here, 150 here, coaches, this, and like, I'm not going to say like, there's a lot of it that I would like to have back, of course, but there was a lot that was well spent. And
no, yeah, that's the thing. If you invest in yourself and you, like, I never look at it that way. Like, all the money that I spent on this journey is worth it, because at the end of the day, you're investing in yourself, and you might take, with investments, you'll take some losses, you'll get some gains. So it's like, it's a part of the learning process. And I look at money now as like money is obviously important. You need it to live,
right?
But it's a tool. So it's like, if I use it to try to do something and it doesn't work, I mean, the tool just didn't work that time, and I got to use a different tool, or I got to use, you know, more of it. It just is what it is at this point, because it's like, I look at it like, you can always make money back. You can't get time back, or you can't really, like, some knowledge is invaluable. So it's like, to even just get in a room with somebody that could put me in a better position, I'll spend the money. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we've done time and time again. I mean, literally, I say it all the time. Like, get in the rooms you don't belong in. If you got to pay to get in the rooms you don't belong in, until you do, and then get to the next one.
Like I took a trip to California. Was supposed to collab with some big comedians out there. It didn't happen, but I still paid for the trip.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I didn't end up getting to do the content with them or even talk to them for real.
I do shit like that all the time.
Yeah.
I just went with my wife to the Black Conservative something ball. I don't know nothing about, but we got tickets somehow. And why'd I go? Because Waka Flocka was going to be there. I didn't know if I was going to see him or what, but I knew if I could talk to him, then I could get him on the podcast.
Right, yeah.
And he's brilliant, man. I don't know if he's very smart with money.
Yeah,
and
Waka
like
very
that.
smart.
Exactly. And I was
because he don't even make. That's the thing. Any rapper that still has a good lifestyle, but they're not putting out music, you know they are nice at business, or they have somebody around them that has a business setup. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like he don't even want to rap. He don't even want to be on the front lines no more. He like, nah, I'm making enough money where I'm at. So it's like, but his mom also was a big business person. Like,
really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his mom was like his manager, and like a bunch of other people's manager as well. So it's like his mom. His mom put him on for sure.
Well, that's so like if we're talking to the next generation, because it's so hard. It is and it isn't, man. Number one, if you have because when you said like, hey, I didn't have any sales experience and they hired me, what I look for now, especially when they're just getting started, I tell people all the time, good attitude, good work ethic, I can train the rest.
Yeah.
Because, bro, that is in such fucking short supply. It's not even crazy. Like
the
these days,
the way I would
wild.
look at it too is like somebody that's poor, hungry, and determined. We call them PhDs. Poor, hungry, and determined.
PhD, I love that.
Got a PhD because when you talking like in the office, you can't say poor, hungry, determined. You know what I'm saying? Because then somebody in the lobby
say,
you
what's their
poor.
why?
Yeah. So it's
you
like
have a strong enough why.
We would just be like PhD, and then I would like my admin. She was so slick. She would always like put those towards the front because I would hire them on the spot because I'm like, I know you're gonna come in here tomorrow. You don't have no money. You need me at this point. But it's not like I was trying to take advantage of them. It's
you're trying to put them on.
I want to put you on and give you a skill.
100%.
And those was like the most. That's how we got to like 55 people in the office. Was like me empowering these young, like they was like young kids. Like this one kid, Malcolm. He helped me train so many people in that office because he was just so grateful that I gave him an opportunity. He was 18. Like it was like when I met him, he was 17 and like 11 months. And he was like, next month I turn 18 and I can work for you. And I was like, all right, bet, hit me in a month. And he called me on his birthday. And he's like, can I come in for an interview? And I was like, yeah, you can come in for an interview. He comes in for an interview. I hire him. I bought him a suit. He didn't have no clothes or nothing. Bought him a suit. And so ever since that, he was like, yo, he was just so loyal to me. But he also was making the most money in the office, like at 18 years old. So I would always promote that. I'd be like, yo, he's 18, making $2,500, $3,000 a week.
He's your perfect example.
And it was just great, you know what I mean? And people like that, it's like when you find them and you can get them at the right time and like teach them what you know, the sky's the limit for them people.
I could not agree more. There's a guy, he's normally in the office, but he's out in the field, Nick, right? So I have a few young men, the one that you just met, but he's family, so you know what I mean? Like, I'd give him a few extra, because he's not, anyhow, I'm not even going to get into that story. He's family, but he's earned his stripes. He's worked hard. But he's one of the first people I hired. I mean, he earned everything he got. But Nick also has been with me since day one. This is the second company. This isn't even the first one.
Right,
I had a partnership, and the company worked out great. The partnership didn't work out great. I've learned a lot of lessons along the way of what to do, but also what not to do.
Right,
I don't care if you're in a partnership with your brother, your father, your wife. It doesn't matter what it is. You need that on paper. It better be on paper. Like operating agreement, whatever you do business with anybody. That's just a disclaimer. I don't care who it is.
That's what I'm learning now. It's like putting stuff on contracts because if you don't, it's like it's not required for the person to really do they end of the hold up the end of the bargain. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
not only that, man. It's like if you and I go into business together, and it's like I have a perception of what I think you're going to bring to the table. You got a perception of what you think you're going to bring to the table and what I'm going to bring to the table, right? And we have these different ideas of how things are going to work out, but we haven't expressed them or really laid them out and put them on paper. So how can you be held to a standard that I'm holding you to when I haven't put it down?
Exactly.
And you don't even know if you're meeting it. And we're both pissed off because we both think we're doing more and the other one's not doing, but we haven't articulated on paper what exactly that relationship looks like. And guess what? Maybe I just get tired and I'm like, dude, I'm out. I don't want to do this anymore. Right, what is that? What happens?
Nothing.
But
Not
if you
it's
have it on paper,
yeah,
right, you can say, all right, well, this is the steps we take. You know, my wife's an attorney, which is most of you listening to this show already know.
Oh, yeah,
I'm a
you
felon.
locked up.
So I like that. I mean, the crazy part is
He's smart. He said, look, I got my wife a lawyer.
Well, before I became a felon, we met, and then I was an idiot. But the one thing, but that doesn't matter. Bottom line is, you know, the point is I really went from being what I thought was just completely worthless. I had nothing to offer. I was a convicted felon, drug addict. Coming back, I had nothing, bro. Like I had no bank account, couldn't get a bank account. I had a green dot card that I could get. I had food stamps. I had funding for this halfway house. That was only 8 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like in that time, there's been a few businesses, but the determination in honestly living like that is more difficult and more work. Like just living, getting up every day, hustling up money, doing what you got to do. The people you see around Baltimore every day.
It's stressful.
It's like every day, wake up, and my only purpose is to get this thing up in me and to get the money to get the thing up in me, which is usually some scummy shit. So I feel terrible about myself. It's just a perpetual cycle that never
You believe in
ends.
God?
100%. And I love your content I've seen recently.
Yeah, it's like, the thing is,
I have to, by the way, brother. That is the key to my sobriety.
I'm telling you, Jesus will pull you out of any of them situations. It's like, it's so crazy to even think about because
my whole left arm is sleeved up and scripture and everything else, but
like the whole thing is like sometimes people will feel like they so far gone that Jesus not going to accept them.
I definitely.
But when you really realize why Jesus got killed was because he wasn't in the church, he was in the streets.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? He was with the people that was drug dealers, gangbangers, prostitutes, because that's who he was here to save. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like the people that think that Jesus wouldn't rock with them the most is actually who Jesus really came to save. That's really who he would touch the most. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like when you really think about that and like the sacrifice that he made for us, it's almost like when you come to that realization, it's like you just want to live better. You just like want to be better. You feel what I'm saying?
Brother, yes, 100%. I mean, we were talking about it before the show, but we're getting into this. That is, when I first started this business, what I really wanted was, in sales, as you know, like the environment's not always the most healthy environment for sobriety. You know what I'm saying?
It's not.
So like I was like, how am I going to get back? I was scared to get back into sales at first, man, because I'd only ever known like fast money and the way we lived and the way we did things. So, I had to bring my sobriety and my faith because, I'm a member of a 12-step group.
Right.
I'm in recovery. The whole premise of a 12-step group is to find a higher power. I mean, that's it. Basically, if you don't do that, you're in some real trouble.
And that's the thing too with like with drugs and alcohol and stuff. It's like I'm still like I decided I don't want to smoke weed no more. Sometimes I still smoke, but it's like for me, I don't smoke out of like I have to smoke. I used to smoke because like I had to smoke. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like stressed out, or if I'm like angry, or if I need to sleep or something like that. I used to smoke because of that. But what I learned like from joining my church and like my church brothers, like shout out to David and Greg, because they hold me accountable. You feel what I'm saying? Like they always are gonna check me on whatever. And so they basically explained to me that when you smoke for your anxiety and for like your like if you're upset or whatever, it sounds cliche, but you could just pray. That's what they was telling me. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, so they're like, look, the reason why, like, you making Jesus jealous. You feel what I'm saying? Because he wants you to use him. If you're stressed out, if you're angry, he wants you to pray and talk to him, and he could help you with that. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And so when you're smoking weed or you're doing other stuff to cope with that, Jesus is looking at you like, you could have just used me, bro. Like, you ain't even had to pay $45 for an eighth and roll up and get your fingers sticky and do all this dumb shit. You could have really just prayed and it would have taken 10 seconds. And so when they explained that to me, I'm like, it sound good. You know what I'm saying? But once I started really doing it, I realized like, damn, I was really taking an L the whole time. And so now, like, since I made that decision, my bank account looks so...
I was just getting ready to say, I bet you're making way more.
It looks so crazy. Like, I never had this much money in my life.
And you weren't even an addict.
Yeah, and I wasn't even an addict. I was just smoking weed, and I was struggling with lust as well. And so I had to give that up.
Yeah.
And so once I decided to really give it all to Christ and really like lock it, I mean, I always had a relationship with God like throughout my whole journey. But once I really made that decision, everything changed. It's like I wake up stress free now.
How long has that been?
It's really only been like what, 2 months?
I could tell.
It's
I mean,
really
I see
fresh.
it in your work.
Yeah, it's really fresh. It's like I'm a new. It's like I feel like a new person. You feel what I'm saying?
Like man. I see
wanna,
your physical journey, your spiritual journey.
Like it helped me with that too. Like even when I'm in the gym and I'm like struggling and I'm like, geez, I need you these last 3 reps. I really get the strength. I mean, it really be crazy. Like I'm like, dang, this is really tough. Like I'm like, wow. Like I really never thought I never even knew this feeling existed. So it's like I just be wanting to tell everybody.
And it's important to talk about, man,
Yeah.
because like, you know, fortunately, like we can talk about whatever we want, it's my podcast, but like the bottom line is I do feel like it tends to be, you know, oh, that's not cool or whatever. But if you're talking to the younger generation or people, you know, the way I look into us to set the example and we don't talk about these things. So the fact of the matter is that is literally how I am sober today is I had to find a higher power. And then the other piece of that is, you know, people in 12-step groups, it's literally just go help somebody else.
Right.
Like that's literally one of the help someone else, help them do it too. You know, and I have this business where we don't only hire people like that, but when I find that opportunity and they're trying, because they can't be actively doing some nonsense, but they're trying.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like come here, this is a safe place for you.
I always try to help people find
100%.
God. I got a comedian that you know, I'm like mentoring, you know what I'm saying? And I want to help him. You feel what I'm saying? He just came home from prison.
Yeah.
And before he went to prison, he was one of the most popular comedians in Baltimore. And I actually like his work. But I told him, I'm like, look, I want to invest time, energy, effort into you, but I want to know that you're really going to change your life because if I invest, you know, money, energy, time, and you know all of that into you, and then you do the same dumb shit and go back to I'm gonna want to beat your ass. Right. So you gotta. That's like where it gotta start, and I learned that from my mentor too, because when I actually went back to the business.
How important do you feel? I didn't mean to interrupt you, but when you said mentor twice now, how important do you feel mentorship is to success or to your success?
I feel like it's important just in life in general. 100%. Like I feel like even if you're not in business and you're just a person, you should have a mentor. Like you should, like, I feel like you should have
a mentor for anything, whether it's like
you don't even have to call it a mentor. Like some people call it their OG. Like I know, like
whatever,
you know what I mean. Like your OG supposed to show you the way on how to be a good person or a good adult when you're a kid or whatever. I mean, a lot of kids grow up without their father.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like you gotta have somebody that you look up to that's gonna show you the right things, and you also too you gotta make sure it's the right person. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people get a mentor and it's like they mentor not even what they say they is. So it's like you really gotta double check. My mentor, Mike Lay, that's one of my mentors. He the real deal. So it's like when I first met him, he had a lot of money, but he wasn't like really tied in with Christ. Obviously he had a connection, like, you know what I mean, spiritual connection, whatever. But when I came back, because I had left the business to do comedy, and when I came back, because I was having my daughter, I met a whole different person. It was crazy. It was like, I always trusted him. That's why I went back. I'm like, look, I'm back because I need money. I'm about to have a daughter. And I was still a struggling comedian. And so when I met him again, it was a whole different person. He's like, yeah, I give it all to Christ. And his bank account was quadruple.
That's what I wanted to mention, by the way, last time. Hear when he said this, man, because like, it's like, there's nothing wrong with, you know, wanting to be successful, making money. Yeah. Like the Bible talks about that too, by the way.
No, yeah,
like,
the thing is,
it ain't just like you gotta be broken on the streets. Like God wants you to have these things.
If you associated with God, God is the most powerful being in beings. So it's like he obviously got the most money. Like, if I'm associated with him, he don't, like, I don't want to be broke. Like
that's what I'm saying. I just feel like people might get it twisted. Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're out here. Like,
people feel like if you're a Christian or if you believe in God, you got to be struggling. And that's not the case. I mean, you're going to have tests, right? But sometimes people is like, oh, you Christian, like, why you got that chain on? I'm like,
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Because Jesus want me to shine. I'm his son.
There you go.
Like, I'm a representation of him. So it's like, I'm going to put this on every day, and I'm not going to take it off.
Oh, hell no. I'm going to build the best version of it, and I'm still going to help people, and I'm going to show you. If you'd like to see how to do it, I'd be happy to show you how to do it.
Exactly. Because it's like, for me, I always wanted to have a nice chain. I always wanted
Hell
that.
yeah.
That's what I like. The people that I looked up to when I was a kid, I always wanted that. But also too, it's so that I have it on because I could show kids like I was once where you was at. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. I know exactly what my whole concept. The way I got jeans on today, but I started wearing like custom tailored suits, all those things.
Yeah.
That was my chain, right? Like in my head, the epitome of success. The first one of my, I wouldn't say necessarily mentors, but people I saw and was like, that dude. When you interviewed for that, I interviewed for a window sales company
Got you,
that
yeah.
now does all remodeling stuff, which by the way is what we do, right? And when I sat there, I was like, this dude's got it going on.
He got it going on.
He got the
Yeah,
suit.
that's the thing,
He had
yeah.
the haircut. He was in shape. He used to play ball for Miami. He got hurt. You know how it is, man. We're a lot of times we're people in sales and entrepreneurs. We're athletic or we're hustle. We're just driven. We're just
Yeah.
a different, it's cut from a different cloth. But he was what I saw as like that dude. So ever since then, I'm like, all right, man. One of these days, I'm
gotta
gonna
get
wear
a suit.
I don't know what it was, but it was like so.
I
From
feel
that
that.
point forward, man, it's just been like normally. This is like casual, but like the way what I present. Whatever, but that is like one of my inspirations. I'm just gonna say, James Bond's got some style. I'm just
That's
saying.
the thing, though. It's like you gotta. I feel like you gotta look good. I feel like looking
could
good
not
is
agree more.
so important because, cleanliness is next to godliness. I feel like if you look crazy and you look dusty, like nobody gonna believe that that's the path you're supposed to be on. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why do you want me to have tattered clothes and be struggling because I follow Christ? That's not what he wanted for us. He went through that so we wouldn't have to go through that.
Well, it's a religious and a business aspect. Like, how am I going to invest in you if you don't look like you're worth investing in?
Exactly. You feel what I'm saying?
Or why am I going to want to do what you're doing in terms of like, if I say I'm this, then that's what that looks like. If that looks good or bad, that's where I'm going to make my determination. It's dangerous.
Once I got the chain, I upped my prices.
Yeah. I noticed
I was able to tell.
I noticed that. Because look, he hit you up a couple months back. I'm like, oh, he went up a little bit.
You hit me in
It's all right.
September. I was like, oh, I didn't even realize until after I sent it, and I was like, oh damn, I told him a different price before, but I was like, I mean, that's not even the price.
It's all good.
Now.
I sent it when he told me. He was like, yo, he went up. I was like, it's all good.
But that's not even the price now. The price now is more. But I was
That's
like, I
all
looked
good.
out for you because I had already told you. But I could charge more because now it's like, how you think I afford this stuff? Like, how you think I got another daughter on the way?
Look, brother, I'm trying to get to the same, I got, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Man. I got, I got folks, man, like, in influencer in the business space, dude, they want to charge you to come on their podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not talking $1,000, nothing like that. They're like, they started for like 20.
Yeah.
Like, because they know they know their demographic. And their demographic oftentimes is business owners.
Yeah.
So they're like, you can write it off. And I'm like, bro, there's no way in hell. Even on principle. I am paying you
the thing
20, 10, don't matter, bro. Like, I'm paying you to come on your podcast? Well, you're going to get exposed. I'm like, dude, no thank you. I'm good. I'm going to make my own way. I'm going to make my own path, make my own
That's what
stage.
you should do. The thing is,
That's what I'm doing, bro.
a lot of times when, like, the thing is, it's like, if you was to pay to go on somebody else's podcast, you'll get the exposure, but how many clicks are you going to get? How many people are really going to come to your page off of that page?
Dude.
The thing is, that podcast already puts out enough content. So the people that follow that podcast
And that person.
they're going to keep following that person. They're going to keep watching that person. They don't have time to come and, unless you say some groundbreaking stuff.
Right.
Like, you come on there and you discover how to make diamonds out of ass cracks. I don't know. But you say some riveting stuff on there, you're not going to take that audience and you're not going to pull that audience to you. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to make your own way. And so...
And you did that. And that's what I wanted to, like, really, you know what I mean? Like, not focus on, but if you could give the younger generation, or even, it doesn't matter younger, bro. I'm probably older than you are, but somebody who's looking to get into, like, hey, this is what I did. I stayed consistent. I did this. Because you're really, and I have no doubt that you'll continue, and we'll see you do amazing things.
I'm telling you, it's crazy. I'm
claiming it.
I already know I'm gonna be the biggest.
Say it, claim it,
I'm gonna
man.
be the biggest
Let's go.
comedian entertainer in the world.
There you go.
I already know it. It's already done.
It's done.
So it's like, it's already signed, sealed.
100%.
I'm bound by a contract. It's like that's what I'm here for. And so it's like, for me, and also like the biggest evangelizer as well, because
I love it.
the thing is, it's like, when you, like, if you have a gift in this world,
Got to.
you have to use it. You have to use it. And if you try to not use it, your life is going to be complete hell.
Dude, I
because
couldn't agree more.
Every time I've tried to not do this shit, some shit will happen where I have to do it. Or it's been times where it's like I almost fucked everything up that was like irreversible, and then something happened where I had to, go to a psych ward or something, or even go to jail. Like Kyle was there. There was one time I was about to crash. I was about to crash out over a girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting
usually what it is.
I ended up getting arrested in Towson for disorderly conduct because I called the cop a bitch ass nigga. Shout out to Officer Kalani. I still hate you to this day. Well, not hate you. I mean, I can't hate you, but I don't like you.
Just want you to know that.
But yeah, I sat in jail for 45 days until I came and this is the thing. I had to really come to a realization like, wow, I was bugging.
They kept you in there until your hearing or whatever?
No. They kept me in there past my hearing.
Oh, wow.
The thing is, it was so crazy. Like, it was God playing in my face because
it sounds like
the COs were saying like, oh, I don't know if you ever seen my videos where I'm talking to God at the heaven stairs and I'm like trying to get into heaven. So they were like, you're in hell right now. Like, God sent you to hell. And they were like trolling me. And so I'm like in that cell like for 19 days straight, losing my mind. They're like, the only way out is to jump off the top bunk. You have to kill yourself.
They tell you that shit?
It was crazy.
Was this Baltimore City jail or
Baltimore
Towson?
County, Towson. And I'm like, nah, if you want me to die, you're gonna have to kill me. I'm not killing myself. I'm like, I go through a lot of shit, but I ain't offing myself. And so by the time like the 19th day rolled around, I started to really believe that I was in hell. And so I ended up fighting one of the COs.
You did?
Yeah, because
wow, that's hell for that, bro.
Well, because I'm thinking that I'm in hell. I gotta fight the demons. If the demons,
you really thought that,
bro? I'm actually was diagnosed bipolar. So this led me to like having a manic episode where it's like now I'm seeing things. I'm having like.
Do you mind if I touch on that a little
Yeah.
bit? Do you take medicine still?
Not anymore. No,
I was also diagnosed bipolar.
Yeah.
They had me on all kinds of shit. Then I'm like,
I used to take lithium and my hands used to shake, and I stopped taking that.
And I'm not, by the way, look, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm sure Manny would say the same thing. So it's not
the thing is,
just stop taking your meds, everybody.
If you're
great.
No,
we're not saying that.
I wouldn't recommend that. But
right, I definitely would not recommend that.
My thing is, like, so when I told my mom what I was taking, my mom real spiritual. You feel what I'm saying? And we African, so I was born in Congo.
How does this bother you?
No. It don't bother me.
You were born in Congo?
Mm-hmm. And so when I told my mom I had to keep taking the lithium and stuff, she was like, no, I know a healer in Africa that can send over. Like, so it was like it came in like a water bottle. It was like this nasty ass, it tasted like mayonnaise and
He's from
onions.
Jamaica.
It was nasty as shit, and she was like, you have to take a small cup of this every day until it finishes. And so I ended up taking it and, praying every day. Like, I was living at my uncle's house, who a pastor. It was crazy. He said he saw the spirit of Babylon, like, follow me around. He had to cast it out of his house. Like, it was mad crazy. Like, this is when I came back from LA. And after I took that, I was like, all right, well, then I'm not taking the meds no more. And since then, I haven't had, like, no, like, manic episodes except for when I got arrested. That's when I got arrested, it was the craziest thing. And so after I got out of jail, it was
Here's
like
what happened.
But look though, after I got out of jail, it was like I knew why I was in there. I was in there because I was about to fuck up my whole life. And so if I would have did what I wanted to do at the time, none of this shit would have even transpired. And so I'm like, that's when I came to a realization. I'm like, I have no choice but to stay this course and do it the right way, because if I don't, more shit like that is going to keep happening.
Yeah.
Where like God is not like, this is like, I firmly believe this is our last chance. So it's like, this is my last chance to get it right. I feel like
I agree, man.
I feel like this life is
right.
the last
I agree,
one.
the same one.
You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, there's more examples. Like
I
even,
say that all the time, bro.
Yeah.
I say I'm playing with house money, because that wasn't the first time I came back. This was like the 12th time I came back. I've been homeless once before.
You always gonna come back, because you have the thing is, you have a purpose. You feel what I'm saying? You have to serve that purpose. You don't have a choice. It's like, even when I was a kid, I tried to.
Do you feel that calling though?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like certain videos, I couldn't even tell you who wrote them. Like, I didn't write it. People be like, how you come up with this? I'm like, I didn't. I'm like, it's like the spirit will just type for me. I black out and my thumbs are just moving. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, that's how I know it's like a real gift. You know what I'm saying? I can't take it for granted. Like, when I was a kid, I tried to drink antifreeze. Like, I tried to leave this planet. I was done with it. I tried to drink antifreeze, and I immediately threw up. And then when I tried to drink some more. But the bottle was empty though. When I went to drink some more, it was a fresh bottle. I opened it, like you take the seal off, right? Yeah. You gotta open it and then you gotta peel the thing. I did that, and when I went to drink more, it was all gone. It was empty. The bottle was clean. Wow. Like, it didn't even smell like antifreeze. I couldn't even, cause antifreeze, you drink a drop, it's over with you. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't even do nothing. That's why I sat there. I cried for like 30 minutes. Like, why? Like, I'm looking in the sky. Like, why are you doing this to me? Like, yo, just
I can relate to that.
That's man. Take me. You know what I mean? It was another time I was in LA. Shout out to the LAPD. They beat the shit out of me in a cell.
Did they really?
Yeah.
They
tried to kill me.
That's where that was going. Jeez,
so yeah, they tried to kill me. I had like a bunch of lasers pointed at me at one point, and I blacked out. They said I was saying a bunch of crazy shit to them. I was like, if you kill me, God is gonna burn this whole place, like ruin everything. I don't remember saying that though, and I had ended up punching a cop, so they got their get back. They were supposed to take me to the hospital because it was a mental health thing, and instead of taking me to the hospital, they brought me to the county jail. They beat the shit out of me in a cell, and they were like, it got to the point where I'm watching myself get my ass beat. Like, it was so bad. Yeah, like, there's 3 of them just whooping my ass, and they start smashing. I had dreads at the time. They start one of them grabbed my hair like this, start smashing my face into the floor. And so now I'm watching this happen, and I'm like, now I'm face to face with God. I'm like, but I don't see his face though. He has like no face. Like, it's crazy. So I'm like, God, why are you not just killing me, bro? Like, it's over with. I'm like, I pride myself on being one of the most handsomest comedians. Cause I'm like, comedians usually are ugly. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I pride myself.
That's why they're good. That's why they're so funny.
That's why they funny, because they relatable. But for me, it's like, I always had an uphill battle because I'm handsome. That's what
you all have a cross today.
But I'm like, I pride myself on being one of the most handsomest comedians. This shit over with, bro. I'm like, just take me, bro. I'm ready to come home. And he's like, nah, it's not the time. Like, you'll be fine. He just laughs and he pushes me, and I fall back into my body, and I just couldn't feel no more pain. And I'm just laughing while I'm getting they're punching me in my face. Like, no teeth. I didn't lose no teeth, like nothing, right? So
yeah,
I'm like,
I don't have nothing.
I'm like laughing in their face. They're like, what's so funny? I'm like, you bitch ass niggas can't kill me. I'm like, you cannot kill me. I'm like, no matter what you do, you can't kill me. I'm like, I just talked to God. He just told me I'll be fine. So have at it. Do your worst. And it was so crazy. This part you might think is crazy, but I'm laughing and they're getting more mad. So they're like, they like want to find more ways to hurt me.
Jeez.
And so, they're beating me up. They ripped my clothes off, so I'm butt naked getting beat up at this point. And one of them unbuckles his pants. And I'm like, haha, joke's on you, buddy. Because I was constipated for like 4 days.
Oh, my God, bro. What the hell?
And so 4 days, I couldn't poop, bro. I was praying to poop. I was like, God, please. Like, I was eating so much food. Like, I was like looking up what to eat. I drank so much prune juice, and I just could not poop, and I couldn't figure out why. And it was like to the point where I was like, I'm going to have to go to the hospital. Like, I'm going to have to figure out why I can't poop. But that was why I couldn't poop right there, that moment. Because when he unbuckled his pants, all the shit for 4 days just started spewing out. And so now I'm shitting it in my hand. I'm throwing it.
Yo, bro.
It was so amazing. It was just the perfect timing. And so that's
I would say that's pretty fucking perfect timing.
Perfect timing. Because it was crazy, because when I was a kid, I'm like, if I'm ever in that situation and I can't, I'm gonna do. And I'm pooping. I'm pooping. And so I got to finally poop. That was like the best feeling ever. And then they ripped one of my dreads out and locked me in that cell. And then that was the end of that. And then like 8 hours later, I ended up flooding the cell.
Oh,
with the
you were
toilet.
that guy, bro.
Yeah.
I said it was
Because I wasn't supposed to be in there. I'm like, yo.
It was always the crazy ones doing some wild shit like that.
Yep.
I was locked up for a little over a year, and I was always like, they lock us all down.
When I flooded that cell,
flood everything out.
When I flooded that cell block, everyone was mad at me.
Poop in a shampoo or piss and poop in a shampoo bottle, mix it all up. Yeah, bro.
Glock
nasty.
No, but look though. So when I
not saying you did that.
When I flooded the cell, I would if I had to.
He said I might have done that, dude. I don't know.
Nah, so look, when I flooded the cell, the janitor came around. I'm like, yo, they didn't process me. They just brought me in here to beat me up. Like, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, please, like, tell somebody. And then, like, 15 minutes later, they came and got me. They brought me to the actual hospital I was supposed to be at. And when I ended up going to court for punching the cop, they never even had it on their ledger or whatever that I went to that county jail. They were like, no, you went here, and then... And I'm like, nah, they whooped my ass. But I was like, I'm not even going to sue. I'm just going to leave. I'm like, I'm out of here.
I will not be back to Cali.
Yeah, I'm not moving back to Cali. And it's crazy because me and my fiance, we were about to move to Cali like 6 months ago. And this is when I really started to build a team around like entertainment, like videographers, editors, everything.
Sure,
so that way, because we're about to start putting movies into production. Like we have like
hell yeah,
investors, like producers and stuff like that. So it's like everything is like really coming in, like, but this was the start of it.
Yep.
And so she's like, yeah, you know, you'll just have a lot more opportunities in California. And I'm like, look, I just feel like going back to California after everything that happened, I don't think I'm supposed to be there. And I'm like, we're just starting to build a team here. I feel like if I leave now, I'm the biggest in the city besides Jess Hilarious. You know what I mean? Jess Hilarious, she obviously made it out. She's on the Breakfast Club now. But it's like I'm really the ticket for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And if I leave, it's going to leave a void like in my absence that I'm just not cool with because I'm like, I love my city. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't love everything about it, but I love my city and I love
Baltimore
the people.
Gets a bad
yeah,
rap,
I love
There's
the people in my city. And I feel like it's so much talent in Baltimore that just there's no light on it yet. But we've started to put so much light on Baltimore. Like Baltimore is a viral city now. Yeah. When people say Baltimore and you can go to any state and say
shout out Ravens. I'm a Skins fan, but I love Lamar and I never disliked the Ravens. The only time I would ever even is if I'm
Lamar from Baltimore now. Yeah. He not actually from Baltimore, he's from Florida. But we adopted him.
Yeah. He's easy to like, man. I don't know how you dislike Lamar.
You can't.
Y'all were trying to do him a little bit dirty. I'm not saying you, but it was a while. I was like, I've been so jealous as a Redskins fan wanting a quarterback, and now we basically have.
Nah, y'all got Jaden Daniels. Y'all lit.
I know.
But I feel like with Lamar Jackson, like the people that try to do him bad is really, I hate to say this, but Dundalk people. Like Dundalk.
What does that mean?
Dundalk people is like the white trash.
Whites.
Like they
that dang on like, Lamar Jackson.
Like they're like if they were black, they wouldn't feel that way.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Like Dundalk people are black people in a sense, but they're just white.
Yeah.
They have the same.
I just don't get it, but that makes way more sense because I'm like I don't.
But it's like those are the people that like we're like they love Joe Flacco. You know what I'm saying? Like Joe, like and the comedian Stabby, he plays that role just all too well. It's like, when he did his video, he's like, Mark Andrews, there was something about you. I trusted you.
Yeah.
He's literally like a Dundalk person to a T. So it's like that's who try to hate on Lamar.
Yeah, dude, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, the pesto. That's Stabby.
That makes way more sense.
Yeah,
and that's probably the realest answer I've ever got. Because I'm like, why?
Nobody hates Lamar.
Every Ravens fan, like, I just don't get, like, as I see it on, like,
nobody hates Lamar.
ESPN bitching about his contract. I'm like, give that man, what are you doing?
We don't even blame him for this. People can say, like, he fumbled the ball. It's like, bro, come on now. Right. Like, it's snowing. Like, right.
The conditions and that. It's a whole...
And it's like, and he made up for it. You know what I'm saying? Like
yes, you had one play, but anyhow, I mean,
the only thing I say he could have did different was throw that ball away. But the way, like his personalities, he's always trying to make magic happen. And it's like when he's high risk, high reward.
Yes.
That's the thing. He's a high risk, high reward type of player, and I like.
Modern day like Brett Favre, but Brett Favre and Michael Vick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like. You might be a little too young for Brett Favre days, but like you
might
only remember old Brett Favre.
That's an OG quarterback. But I didn't.
But
really
he was
think
the same way, man. He threw a lot of passes. It was like.
It's like, bro, why would you throw that?
But then when it hits, you're like,
when it hits you, like, that's why we watch him, though. So it's like you watch Lamar Jackson because you know something crazy is gonna happen.
I actually watched him even when he was back in Louisville. Like I was like, dude, because I was a huge Vic fan. Everybody was. I came when like Madden was like Madden, and like when Vic was fun to play with in Madden, and I would just run around and do all that.
I'm still a Michael Vick fan.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't give a fuck about that dog.
Oh no, man, I ain't never. I mean, and I love dogs, but the bottom line is, I
love
grew
dogs
up in
too,
the Vic
but
era, and I'm like, dude, look, I
listen,
know. He was my dude.
Who ain't done some illegal shit though?
Well.
Yes.
Well,
it's like you could be mad at Michael Vick all you want, but
not this guy.
I mean, Michael Vick, that's one of the greatest QBs of all time. Like
he changed the position.
He changed the position.
He paved the way. I mean, look how
paved
many
the way for kids that look like me.
Yes.
It was like
I was just getting ready to say, look how many black quarterbacks are in the NFL now.
It's like you was because the thing is, it's like before Michael Vick, it was a few black, football players, but not quarterbacks though. You know what I'm saying? Like quarterback was like a position like that was only a white man position. Like that was like leading the team is like you when we seen like Michael
Randall
Vick,
Cunningham was a couple, but
like bro, it's possible for us, and he was the best at his position. So it's like nobody couldn't stop him, and it was like that was like the craziest thing. So it was like he could do no wrong in my book.
Dude, and I mean, honestly, I'm still a huge fan. Even when he beat the shit out of us in Philly, man, which I did not like. I'm just saying, like, I still like him. But I mean, I'm from Waldorf, so I grew up, just south of D.C. and like Landover feels right there. Mm-hmm. But I moved to Annapolis, and now I'm in Ravens country, which is cool, man. I never had. I don't get because like if you from Waldorf, you grew up an Orioles fan. We didn't have it. Like we didn't have the Nats or anything. So like, we always had love for Baltimore sports. Right. It wasn't like we're like. Now, but you know what I hate?
What?
The same people you just mentioned. It's like those are the fans that just ruin it for me. I'm like, bro, I can't get with y'all.
What you mean?
The Dundalk, the loud,
oh man, yeah,
white trash. I can say it. You know what I mean? Like the loud, like the those guys. I'm like, bro, I can't do it, bro. Like you make me really strongly and I love the team. But you guys, like, I know because I don't get like why do they hate? Why they hate Lamar? Why they hate the Redskins or excuse me, the Commanders? I can't help it, man. They the
Skinmanders.
Skinmanders. There you go. They're bringing the logo back.
No, look. The thing is. There's a comedian. His name Goofy's. He posted like him celebrating like a win, and I commented. I'm like the Skinmanders outside. Not gonna lie, and nobody had ever said Skinmanders. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize I was starting a trend, but that comment got so many replies that he started going to the games and yelling Skinmanders. They start putting him on a jumbotron. He got a sign made like Skinmanders. He called me one day. He's like, yo, I just wanted to say, like, thank you for real. I'm like, for what? He's like, yo, I made like 10 bands off of that Skinmander shit. I'm like, that's tough. Because that's one of the comedians that, like, when I was coming up, he was coming up. And we really was struggling. Like, we would go around to, like, stores and ask them if they needed promo, charging, like, $150, $200, like, just to eat for real. So it's like, when he told me he made 10 bands, I'm like, that's tough. That's like, I remember we didn't even imagine that type of money. So,
speaking of that, awesome. No more door-to-door?
No, fuck
no more door. So you're full-on comedy.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got 680 or 600, I think 80, right? You got 600,000+ followers on Instagram. I mean, I would assume the way in which you did that was by fucking being consistent and not giving up. 681? 681.
Yeah, 681,000.
681. But you don't follow me, but it's okay, man. I'm not cool. He only follows like. Do you follow me?
I followed you back.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, all right.
I followed you back today.
We almost deleted that account because of that fake bullshit. The 500. We thought we were blacklisted.
Oh yeah,
whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if it's not, if you feel like you shadow banned because of that, I would delete it. I would start a new page.
We started getting some more traction though. We did start a new page. We did.
Yeah,
we did.
I would.
I got a team. Roger's on it, but
I used to reply to every single comment.
So that's one way in which you.
That's how you. But the thing is, though, it wasn't even like an engagement thing. I just really wanted people to know that I appreciate the comments. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. And now I'm at a point where it's like I got a lot going on. I still try to reply to comments when I can, or at least like them if I see them, if it's a good comment. But I'm a dad. You feel what I'm saying? I'm a dad. Yeah. I'm my wife pregnant. You feel what I'm saying? Like I got a lot going on. So it's like when we was like earlier in our relationship, she would see me on my phone like doing this. And
All
she would be
day,
like, you just on your phone, like, I'm trying to get attention from you. And I'm like, I gotta reply to these comments. I don't have nothing else to do for real. And it's like us chilling together is like, that's cool, but I'm building something right now.
Yeah.
And you feel what I'm saying? I'm like, one day this is what's gonna pay the bills. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, and this is when I had probably like 300,000 followers. So it's like at that point I still was struggling for money. So it's like I really I don't even feel like I'm making,
because you don't monetize, I don't think, right? Or
I monetize, but Instagram will take your monetization for any little reason.
Yes, bro.
And
Yes,
they-
Ross said that.
They'll do stuff like, I don't know. I'm a firm believer that these social platforms is ran by people that just worship the other side.
I mean, bro, because something doesn't check out. 'Cause if it's you can watch a video of somebody getting killed in 2 seconds, but God forbid you said something that might go against.
God forbid I say
God.
something that might trigger a certain demographic of people or anything. You know what I'm saying? Allude to any type of violence. But you could watch. But I could watch half naked women.
Yep.
I could watch black people getting murdered. I could watch all of that, and none of that should get 1 million views. But the minute I say something that's a little bit crazy, it's taken down. And then also too, what happened when I started really putting like God and Jesus, after I really gave it to Christ, I started being pulled to make a different type of content. I still make my original.
I know, but I have seen that, and I commend you for that, by the way.
But when I prayed on it, I'm just like, look, if it's not cool to be a follower of Christ, then that's just what it is. Cause if you hear that trumpet come out the sky and Jesus ride out there with that motherfucking horse, none of that shit gonna matter. No, you feel what I'm saying? The followers not gonna matter, the views not gonna matter, and it's gonna be all about how you lived your life and if you gave it all to Him. And so at the end of the day, I give it all to Christ because that shit could get snatched away in a heartbeat.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? It gets snatched away in a heartbeat. So it's like, if anybody don't think it's cool, that's their prerogative, you know what I'm saying? And if they unfollow me because of it, then, that's just their choice. But they'll be back. You know what I mean? Like, I always look at it like they'll be back because, last month I got what? I gained 30,000 followers and lost 20,000.
So you gained that 10, yeah.
So I gained 10. So it's like,
and I'd rather have the ones follow me for who I really am all about and what I really believe in.
I'd rather have them follow me for the right reasons, because if I tell people all the time, if you don't like what you see on this page, please unfollow it, because I don't even want you seeing it and then wishing bad on it,
right? Bringing me negative or whatever. I don't want none of that.
The minute people say like negative stuff in my comments, I go block them. Yeah. I block them. Yeah. I don't need your viewership. No. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like this shit, don't look at it. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, even on my live, like when people start talking crazy and saying this and that, I block them because I don't need the negativity. No. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not gonna entertain it. I'm not gonna focus on it. My wife, she a little different. She takes stuff personal sometimes, so she get to arguing with people in the comments. I'm like, babe, these is random people. Right. Like, these are people you'll never really see in real life, and half of them would never even say nothing to you in person. No. So it's like, to even entertain it is like, is pointless. But I'm at a point where I've gotten it so much, I'm used to it. My fiance, she not used to the. No, you know what I'm saying? She's not used to getting 1,000 comments. You know what I'm saying?
She's ready to go to war.
She's ready to go to war with one person. It's like, nah, you can't do that, cause
you be busy full time doing that.
Exactly.
So what's, wrapping up, man, you've got your comedy career, and I've seen you doing stand-up and stuff, but it seems like you're getting into that next phase of your career, right? Where, like you said, man, you're one of the bigger names in Baltimore, if not the biggest name in Baltimore, especially with comedy, and you're putting the city on.
The biggest, hands down, in Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
the
man.
biggest.
And
officially. Not even on no, like, I just feel that way.
The metric is truly.
Metrics. Yeah. Engagement, followers, all of that.
You would know. So you're the biggest, hands down, Baltimore area. So you talked about, like, building a team around you. Because, again, man, like, this is where it comes into that hustle mentality, tying it all back in, man, from door to door, got to make money, utilizing your door to door and your skill sets while trying to, integrate your jokes and what works, what doesn't work. And here, now you've carried it all the way to where you're at now. But you're always, and I can relate to that so much, bro, because even like where I'm at now, and I feel so blessed to have the roofing company in it, but that's what I learned, just like you learned from your mentor. You learned door to door at doing what you were doing. I learned
Exactly.
door to door and doing windows, then roofing. It's what I know to make money.
Right.
Right. But my ultimate higher calling and ambitions, just as you, are to build a brand, build a platform. But for me, it's easier to do it in a niche where it's roofing, windows, and talking to those people, business owners.
Right.
I can make money doing that, which is, important. I can support my family. I can bring my team in.
Right.
Right. But ultimately, my goal is build up the resume through success in business, help other business owners do the same. But I see myself on stages, which I'm speaking on one on the 28th at Blue Collar Ballers event in Dallas, Texas.
Love
Come
that.
check us out. Tickets are still available, but they are going fast. DM if you're interested. But I see myself on stages. I want to be like Tony Robbins. I'm an NLP certified coach, practitioner, timeline therapist. I want to be able to really help people talk about my past and show other people who come from very similar backgrounds to you and I, by the way. Been locked up for over a year. Obviously, I'm a felon, but been shouting, right? Tears coming down, cussing even, like, look,
Yeah.
I'm just angry. You know what I mean? Like, why is this happening? You know
Right,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like, or just take me, bro. Like, let me go.
Right.
But we're here for a purpose, and I love that. And I did not think this is where this was going to go, but I'm very happy to show
Nah, yeah, you went
other
through,
young people
you went through all that stuff for a reason.
100%. What's
Yeah.
possible, though, ultimately. And so here you will continue to build. That's the point I was getting at, is to continue to build on that success and not slow down. Like, I have my whole thing roadmap 10 years out. What's that look like for you?
10 years.
5 years for me, but you already talked about some of it.
Yeah.
Is it Hollywood? Is it movies? What is
The
it?
thing is, I want to create my own Hollywood. I don't fuck
There you
fuck with
go.
Hollywood.
You only got to explain on
I
that.
don't fuck with
So
Hollywood. They offer. I mean,
you probably wouldn't get along very well with the folks in there.
That's the thing. When I was in LA, I got offered a role,
yeah.
like to play a gay role though. But I was like,
What
nah,
is the
I'm not.
fucking deal? Excuse
I'm
my
not
language,
doing
but
that.
What is that, bro?
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm not.
Just
doing
wear
that.
this dress.
Yeah, like it was, but it wasn't even like wear a dress. It was like a 5-season series where I would be gay, and I'm like, I started I had to sign an NDA to read the script, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to do this.
Right.
Like,
Which,
and
by
they-
the way, it doesn't matter, but
it was $500,000. You feel what I'm saying?
it's
It was
hard to turn
$500,000,
down, especially then.
And
You know
I'm
what I mean?
like, that's life changing money. But my uncle told me you can go to LA, like we'll support you, but please just don't be gay. And I'm like, I'm not gay. He's like, no, but it's people that's gonna try to get you to do certain
Wow,
stuff.
he called it.
Yeah,
Immediately.
my uncle be tied in, like he know what's going on. So it's like both my uncles. That's not my uncle that's a pastor. That's my uncle that's like
Okay.
growing up. That's my mom, brother. You know what I'm saying? And so like that was like my father figure.
Right,
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like he already had that conversation with me, and I appreciate him and I'm named after him too.
Oh, very cool.
So
man.
when like I
Shout
could just
out
hear
Uncle Manny.
I could just his name, he go by Emmanuel. He don't play that Manny
he's
stuff.
like,
He don't even like when I do that.
Yeah,
But
I can see that if your name's Emmanuel, that's a little bit more powerful than me.
right,
I
yeah.
get it.
Cause it mean God with us.
I know.
And so
I get why he wouldn't want to short form that.
And so I just kept hearing his voice like in my head, like, don't be gay. Like, and so I'm not, and then it's like you could try to rationalize it, but then I'm like, if I go against my morals and what I believe, and the kids that look up to me see this, you know what I'm saying, from where I'm from,
Yeah.
they gonna get the wrong idea. You feel what I'm saying? And they gonna think that that's the only way they can make it, because some people, I'm not gonna name no name, they already sold us out. They already made it look like that's the only way. And so I want to show the kids, like, you don't got to do that. You can be a man. You can be a masculine man. You could be a black man and stand firm on your morals,
bro. Yeah.
and still get money and create your own way, because we don't have to. I feel like I don't have to, join the Hollywood movement. I can make my own. That's what me and my team doing right now.
I love that, man.
We really when we drop our first feature film, that's just gonna be one of many. Like the way Adam Sandler created his own Billy Madison, because he don't fuck with Hollywood. Like
his whole team, and it's
yeah,
all the same
his
ones.
whole team, he don't fuck with Hollywood.
All same ones in the same movie.
That's why I rock with Adam Sandler. That's my favorite white person on the planet. Like Adam Sandler, like the coolest white dude ever, because he, like, to me, like when I look at Adam Sandler, I'm like, yo, that's a real nigga. Like not even like, but like he just keep it 100, and he'll walk around in his sweatpants, and he be chilling, like he don't bother nobody, but he also stayed true to his morals, and he kept the same people around, and he came up with his team, and that's
and
like,
a lot of his same people that they talk out against. He might not often, but the people he keeps around them does, by the way. Like, talk out against that crazy shit in Hollywood and stuff.
He just
he
keep it P though. Like,
right.
he like, I don't even worry about that because he like, if I talk bad about him, then it's gonna put a bunch of attention on me that I don't even want. He don't even like attention for real.
I know.
He just serving his purpose. And when I watch his story and like Dave Chappelle, how he turned down a bunch of money. I
love Dave Chappelle. That's my favorite comedian.
Dave Chappelle is like my biggest inspiration because when I first seen
my
the
wife
Chappelle
and I
show,
just went and saw him in D.C. You know, he's from, well, not technically D.C., but just outside. But
when I first seen the Chappelle show, that was what made me like realize like I want to be a comedian because I kept getting in trouble in school for saying crazy shit, and then he not getting in trouble, he making money. So I'm like, I want to be a comedian. And my mom shut that down. She was like, I was like 13. She's like, you're not going to be a comedian. I'm like, but Dave Chappelle, a comedian. Like, she like, you know how hard it is to be Dave Chappelle? And it's just crazy because my mom, she really cried on the phone the other day because I sent her money for some glasses. The glasses like $700 something. I sent her the money. You know what I'm saying? And she like,
through comedy.
That's funny money.
Literally funny money.
That's funny money, ma. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, when I send her the money, and it's like I always try to send my mom money. You know what I'm saying? Like my ultimate goal is to buy her house and tell her she don't gotta work no more. And so when I sent her the money though, she was crying, and I'm like, and it's a good feeling because, you know, I don't never blame my mom like, oh, you ain't believe in this. It's because your parents just they want the best for you and they want to protect you. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when you say, oh, I want to be a comedian, they know the risks. You feel what I'm saying? Everything that I went through, if I knew I would have went through it, I probably wouldn't have did the shit. You feel what I'm saying? But my mom seen it before I seen it. Like, you going to be broke, you going to be starving. And I was all of them things. You feel what I'm saying? I was a time I was eating cheese just to go to sleep and then I eat sleep for dinner. Like, that's like how it was.
Sleep for dinner.
Like, it just, certain stuff, like, I had to go through and I had to learn. And I'm glad I went through it, but we
and that's a good segue to, I mean, ultimately tie everything into, like, I think some of the most successful people I know some of the most successful people I know all have that, like, backstory of, like, trials, tribulations. Like, we all go through, you almost have to. It's like a rite of passage. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what I talk about is, like, the depths, like how low you go, the depths of your struggle can literally become the heights of your success.
True.
Like how low you go can be just as high, if not higher.
That's the thing. When you get to that bottom, that people think they hit the bottom, they ain't really hit the bottom yet.
No.
They ain't really hit the bottom yet. When you really hit the bottom and you got to make a decision, it's like, I'm either going to come out of this or I'm going to kill myself right here, right now.
100%.
When you make the decision to come out of it, you unstoppable. You could run through a wall. Like, you could, if somebody try to stop you at that point, you like, I done been to the bottom.
Right.
You can't do nothing to me.
100%.
And so when you really touch that bottom, it's so important. It's so vital to success because you got to know what that feeling is because you're not going back. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not going back to that. So it's like, I got to go up from here. And so once, like, ever since I hit that bottom point, the come up has just been exponential. It's like everything is growth. Every day is growth.
So if you find yourself either now, in the future, or having been, and it doesn't look, there's a gentleman probably right outside the door that's just went through something similar, right? Like, I can't see my way out of it. You know what I mean? Like, he's a little older than I am, but he's just like up and down, you know, drugs or alcohol. I'm not going to get into specifics, but the bottom line is he's doing good now, and like, he just couldn't see it. And then finally hung in there, and some like switch clicked, and the next thing he's on fire. But like, if he had given up, you give up before the miracle happens. You know what I mean? And like, if you're feeling that right now, we're living proof. That's not what this was supposed to turn into, but the bottom line is, I'm glad it did. Like, I would almost like rejoice in the fact that, like, man, it can only get better. My dad used to tell me that. It used to piss me off. For real. He'd be like, well, it can only go up.
Sounds so cliche.
Can only go up. I'm like,
it sounds so
shit,
cliche. Man. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. I'm still going through it.
I'm still broke. I'm still sick. I'm still this. I'm still that. He'd be like, well, it can only go up from here. I'm like, you know what, though?
That's the thing, too. When something else, if you going through that struggle right now, what you say about yourself is mad important.
Oh, bro.
You feel what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
if you,
well,
like,
how often
if
do
you
I
say
that?
you broke, if you say you don't have no money,
you cannot claim that.
You can't claim
Words
that.
have so much power.
Like, the way that I phrase it right now is like, I ain't got it right now. I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on something. You know what I'm saying? It's like 100%. You can't, like, I even sometimes my fiance, she helped me with that though. She like, yo, you can't say that.
Yo,
you know what
you
I mean?
definitely
like,
can't.
Your words
negative
powerful.
Self-talk. You
feel what I'm
cannot.
saying?
Your
Like,
words have so much power.
Words have so much power. So when you are in them positions, you gotta really you gotta be delusional in a sense where it's like, I got money. Like, I used to before I had followers, I had like 2,000 followers on Instagram. I didn't have no TikTok, and I would meet people and they'd be like, what do you do for work? Because I had quit my job at ADP, and I was like, I'm full-time a comedian. And so I would tell people like, I'm one of the biggest comedians in the world. And I would tell them that shit with conviction. Like, people around me, like my friends, when I would tell them that, they would be like, bro, you crazy. Like, they'd tell people that I'm crazy. Like, they'd be like, bro, losing his mind. But I'm like, nah, I really am though. Like, time just got to catch up.
Yep.
And so when you really believe that and you say it, people around you might not even believe it. Kyle, one of the people that always believed in me. That's why
he's sitting right here right now.
I'm always going to keep him around. He one of the only people that I trust with my life. And so it's like, he always believed in me. Like, no matter what, I used to tell him, like, bro, one day we not even going to pay for our clothes. Like, people just going to send us clothes and we just going to be fresh as fuck. And like, we just going to have that shit on. Like, it's crazy. And he used to be like, yeah, hell yeah.
And
like,
it's still going to happen.
And it's happening
if it's not
now.
already happened now.
Yeah, like, it's happening now. It's like, it's crazy to see it really coming to fruition. But yeah, like, you really have to speak stuff into existence and put the work in and make it happen for yourself. And it's not even like you're making it happen. It's like when you pray for stuff and you ask God for a blessing, he want to make sure you really want that. So he going to make you work for that. He going to make you go through some stuff to make sure you really even want to do it. Cause it's been times where going through this journey is like, I could have looked at the challenge and been like, nah, I ain't doing this shit no more. But then I'm like, you know what? I already went through that shit. So it's like, I might as well keep going. And so God looking down, he like, okay, he really want that for real. Let me put something, let me test him some more. And then here come the devil, like, oh no, he don't really rock with you for real. Like, let me beat him up. Let me let me send some cops after him. Let me do this, and he gonna curse you. He gonna I read the book of Job the other day, and Job was going through it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the devil gonna try to get you to denounce your faith because that's just what he do. That's his job. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you can't be mad at the devil for being a devil. It's like, that's what God appointed him to do. So.
And that's anything. If you're in business,
I definitely got to pee again, bro. I'm about to pee my pants.
Yeah, I didn't think, but this is one of the longer episodes we ever did.
I'm about to pee my pants.
All right. Yeah, go pee.
Like, me and Kyle, we was going through that struggle. Like, when I came back from LA, he let me, like, he had a place, he let me move in with him. After I stayed with my uncle for a little bit.
Y'all can't see Kyle, but he's sitting right here.
Yeah, and like, we really was, like, it was like I had just went viral for the first time, like, months before. Like, I went viral for that first Heaven video I ever did, and that was the time I was struggling with my faith because I was going through so much with my ex, and the devil had won at that point because I told God, I'm like, I'm not fucking with you, bro. If you can't make this girl act right for me, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, like, I'm your little homie. Like, I always call God my OG. Like, I'm like, OG, like, bro, if you can't make Shorty act right, like, you really not that guy for real. And when I said that, it was like, I went to sleep that night and I had a dream. I'm in line for heaven. Like, I'm in line. It's a club. Like, heaven was lit. Like, God was up there DJing. He was hosting. He was on a mic. Like, Kobe was up there hooping. Like, you could really see, like, it was paradise for real. And when I get to the front, he the bouncer too. So he like omnipresent. He everywhere. So I get to the front of the line. He like, who are you? And I'm like, what you mean? What you mean? Who am I? Like, cause you know, if God don't know you, you ain't.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that big problem. So
not on the list.
You not on the list. So he like, yeah, I don't know you. I'm like, what you mean you don't know me, bro? I'm like, you know me. I'm like, I'm probably the only person call you OG. I'm like, I start explaining, like, and so he like, yo, you the one that stopped fucking with me because of that girl? I'm like, I've been told you leave her. I know I said I wasn't going to leave her though. And so it was a big joke to him, and he was like, laughing at me. He called Kobe over, and they was laughing at me. And Kobe was like one of my biggest inspirations in life. And so, when I tried to fight him at the gate because I'm like, bro, I'm not going to hell. He told me, he's like, you got to go to hell. He like laughing about it though. And so I tried to fight him, and he pulled the gold Desert Eagle out on me.
Oh, wow.
And so I woke up, and I was drenched in sweat. Like, I mean, it was so much sweat, I thought somebody poured water on me. Like, my dreads was soaked. Everything was wet. Like, I was in bed, and it was like a puddle of water. Like, just sweat, though. And I'm like, damn, I had to, like, get towels and, like,
oh, wow,
clean up. Like, I'm like, this is crazy. And I didn't pee myself. I swear to God, I didn't pee myself. So, that's when I wrote the skit. I was like, it was so traumatizing. I'm like, bro, there's hella people probably going through this right now that's ready to denounce God and feel like they don't rock with him because of whatever they going through. And so I made the video, and at first I was going to go live and tell people about it, but I'm like, I'm going to sound crazy. I'm like, I already been to the psych ward. I'm like, they going to throw my ass right back in there. So I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm not taking that route. So I use my creativity to make that first video where I'm basically playing a person that's in the streets, the people that I want to capture for God. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to reach these people because if I made it in a way that like a Christian person would watch it and feel good about it, you already saved, bro. I'm not worried about you. So it's like
to the regular
people.
Yeah,
I gotta talk to the people that they in areas where if you talk about God, you might get your ass beat. You know what I'm saying? Like they in them places. They sliding and providing every day. Yeah. So it's like that's who I wanted to play, and that's who I wanted to capture for real. And that's the audience that I wanted to have because I'm like, these the people that need it the most. You feel what I'm saying? And so when I made that first video, I posted on TikTok. It was 0 followers, 0 everything. It was the first post I posted on TikTok. And I told God, I'm like, look, if you don't rock with this because I'm cussing or whatever, you don't gotta let nobody see this because I'm like, this really just for me. I really had to get this shit off my chest. And so when I posted it, I went to sleep. I woke up, my phone fell on the floor. It was buzzing. Like everybody was calling me. It was like I didn't know how to turn the TikTok notifications off. I wasn't even an Instagram or content creator really. I didn't know how to work these apps yet. So it was like my phone was just buzzing. Every like was a buzz, every comment, but it was thousands. You feel what I'm saying? Like it hit 1 million views in like 3 hours.
Wow.
And so I'm like, this is it. And so I called my bro. I'm like, we got to film part 2, part 3, part 4. We did 6 parts that day.
Yeah.
And so,
that's smart. You capitalized.
I'm like, we running this up. I got 110 parts of that.
And that's
just that bit.
That's what set you off?
That's where I built a lot of my following from. Is
all from that night.
Just from that night.
Wow.
It was just the craziest thing. I'm like, more people got to know about this. It's just what it's got to be. And it sucks that it had to get to that point where I was like really struggling with my faith. But I feel like if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't even be where I'm at today.
And look at where you are now, and look at what you're able to do now, and the platform that you have, man. And that's what I'm looking to build the same thing, man. I was talking about one of my coaches, he said, look, you can, and I believe in networking. Like that's who is so important.
Very.
Like, especially with business, but also trying to come up and do it, which we're trying to do now. But you can also say, you know what, I'm going to build my own stage. That's what he told me. He was like, you know what, build your own stage. Like the event we're going to, even though it's Blue Collar Ballers Apex, is technically Blue Collar Ballers is originated with myself. You know what I mean? Starting, the Blue Collar Baller group. So like I paid him to teach me how to do it, and now we're doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, it's full circle, man. We're doing the same thing. I've got him, I got Mo, I got Paulo, I got a whole team of folks, for content and stuff like that. And we're looking to, I'm looking to build this to where I can provide them opportunities as well and make them money. And of course, trying to reach other business owners and looking for business owners that are wanting to add in either insurance, restoration, retail, or solar.
Right, yeah.
But we're speaking to a small demographic, whereas I would love to be able to do more like entertainment stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we started doing humor just recently, like started adding in personality and funny stuff into skits in everyday sales stuff and business stuff. And that has been doing a lot better.
That's fire content. It's like that's a part of my life that
which you could actually do.
Yeah.
Because you're door to door. I didn't even think about that.
Did you see the video I sent you?
No, I didn't.
I sent you a video. I did a video like I was the Verizon salesperson at the door. but I had to take it down because at the time I was
Yeah,
I was
no,
an
I didn't see
ISO,
that.
so it's like I'm one of their owners doing the video, and so they made me take it down. Like they're like,
Yeah,
bro, this looks bad because like apparently the Verizon CEO saw the video, and I'm like, that's fire.
great.
I'm like,
That's
yo,
amazing.
the Verizon CEO saw this shit, but they made me take it down. But I could post it now. I'm
Shoot, man. Yeah, I mean, you know all about like what goes on these sales meetings. I have to show you, but the bottom line is in collabing and doing these types of things, if there's anything that me, my team, and in our pursuit, because to your point, man, put my mind on something and to something, it's just gonna happen.
Would
right?
you invest in a production where it's called solicitors? Because I have a concept written. I have a script writer now. He can write it, but it's basically, and I'm pitching you on the podcast. It's like, but like basically, it's called. We're either gonna call it solicitors or no soliciting. But basically, it's like a dramatized version of what actually happens. Sex,
But
drugs, rock and
comedic
roll,
or whatever, or
comedic,
but
and,
like for real, like
comedic and for real though.
because you do make money. It could be like people don't think. You don't think. Do you think there's a reason why?
There's a reason why mega millionaires started in door-to-door sales.
Yes,
Yeah.
you only. The guy that used to do it, that got their ass kicked and didn't make any money is not why.
That's not the guy.
No, it's not.
That's the
No, it's
loser.
not. No,
That's
it's
the
not.
loser in the office.
I would wager that
Yeah.
he and I know I've at least been top one in a couple of the offices
Yeah.
I've been in, and I'm sure you've been
I was
the same.
top one for Verizon for 6 months
There you
straight.
go. There you go. So
When I was in the field, top one. Cancel percentage was like 6%. Had the highest install rate, highest paycheck, highest everything for 6 months straight. And I'm training. My whole team was like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's like I really was that. And so
look at what's become of that is what I'm getting at. Like
Yeah.
the talent is just like, so you want to really test yourself, you want to invest in something and learn a skill, door to door, say, I swear, door to door. Look, if you're in the Maryland area, come to Potomac, not Potomac, Maryland, because the name of the company, PCR, roofing, windows, whatever. We'll put you up. Come see me. I will teach you a skill set that will change your life. You know what I mean?
And
I swear.
That's if you're doing even if sales not your passion,
Doesn't matter.
you gotta sell something. At the end of the day, everything is a sale.
100%.
You gotta sell everything. The thing is, I had to sell. I mean, I didn't really have to sell Kyle. He was a lay down, but I had to
Look,
sell. I gotta
you know
sell
what a lay
Kyle.
down is, right?
I gotta sell Kyle on the vision. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like Kyle is my personal protection, and it's like I gotta sell him the vision, even when I'm not making money. Like, bro, I need you to protect me. So, because if anything happened to me, that's gonna ruin the money train. Even when there's no money, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he gotta believe that. He gotta
100%.
buy that idea. And the fact that he was bought in is like, now that we starting to make money, I make sure that he get a piece. He get a piece of that money
because he bought in on the vision.
He bought in on the vision. Even if you trying to get married, you gotta sell your girl on being your wife. You feel what I'm saying?
You're a business owner, especially starting out. You're not going to have, unless you just come in with a bunch of capital. I did not. So everyone I got off
But
the
even if
radio,
you come in with capital, every business sells something.
exactly. But like if you're listening to this and you don't, you're selling the vision. You're selling something to his point.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have the money, all you have is the vision. That's
you
it.
got.
That's all you got. But guess what? I got two people sitting in the next room from 6 years ago that now Nick made 15, 16 G's last week. Now
That's
the taxes
fire.
got chewed up, but still,
tax is definitely going to take a
young man
smooth half of that.
he was sick. He was about half, but still,
I'd have filed exempt that week.
I tried to tell him anyhow. I said, look, next time you get a big check
I went
like
right
that,
in the ADP website.
exactly.
Exempt this week.
Look, and you're allowed to do that. I told him, didn't I? I said,
You
look,
allowed to
next
do that
time-
a couple
yes, you
times.
are.
Yeah, you allowed to do that. It ain't illegal.
Nah,
Yeah.
it'll just bite you in the behind. It'll bite you in the behind if you do it too many times.
Nah, yeah, if you do it too many times, but if it's a week where you got a fat paycheck coming, you better file exempt.
You better do that.
Yeah.
I told him that. He said he won't make that. I bet you he won't do it twice.
Yeah, he ain't
Bet
gonna make
you
that
he won't
mistake
do it
again because
twice.
I know he looked at that pay stub and
was
his
sick.
heart fell straight
That's
to his
all
ass.
he talked about. That's all he talked about for about
I know
a good
he was
couple
sick.
weeks.
He probably cursed them people.
And he
probably-
felt bad because he's like, I still got like 7,000-8,000. Like, but you
Nah,
thought you were
but you
doubling
coulda
that.
doubled that,
I know,
though.
I know.
It's like it's still $7,000,
Right,
but it's
but-
like it could have been 15.
Right,
though.
right. He was sick, man. But the lesson, and you can. I did do that when I was in sales, but I forgot to take it to like turn it back. I
You had to. You
2
owed
years.
money.
Oh, I owed lots of money.
Yeah.
I never turned it back. You know what I mean? To zero. So I was just hit big time. But
Damn.
honestly, man, I am interested in hearing more about that. But honestly, dude, this has been so much fun. I think we own like a 2-hour podcast, damn near.
Is it
So,
2 hours?
I don't think so. I think it's been like, but it's been over an hour for that short.
No.
This is normally a 30-minute podcast. It's normally not even an hour.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we've been doing.
We should have put that on paper. Damn.
Yeah. Sorry, man. I apologize. We should have seen it.
See,
we were just talking about it. See what happens.
Nah,
30 minutes.
It's been cool though. I fuck with the podcast.
Nah, man, I appreciate it. I really enjoy talking to you, man. I mean, honestly, it's just I had no idea, and that's made it so easy. But truth be told, like I said, I wanted to bring you in. Like, look, man, this is a success story. It's an entrepreneurial mindset. He's an entrepreneur, regardless, because you are making money as your own business. You are a brand, a business, making money now, completely self-sustained, utilizing social media, brands. Your brand is the brand. You are the brand, right? And you are the investment, getting people to invest in you and see the vision. I mean, we have covered so many topics, and I thank you so much for coming all the way 30 minutes from Baltimore. But seriously, we got to get you back before you get too big and you don't know us no more.
Nah, I never do that.
Back. I know, man.
I feel like the thing is, it's not that people. I feel like it's not that people get too big. It's just like sometimes you just get busy, and I had to realize that too. Certain people that I was trying to reach out to that I was like, why are they not hitting me back? But then now I realize it is a lot of people that are, that was probably reaching out to them. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like you can't service everybody. You feel what I'm saying? But once I make a connection with somebody, and that's what it is. If you have my number, you can always reach out to me. It's not like I'll act like I don't know you. Nah, that's crazy.
Well, we'll have to get you back on here, man, and we have to talk business, man. I'm sure there's some content we can do too for like the sales stuff, man. For sure. You know what I mean? Sure. But before we get out of here, Manny, where can everybody find your content at?
You can find it all over the internet. Everybody posts me. Pretty fucking famous. But Manny's Mania on Instagram, YouTube, same thing. Manny's Mania, Facebook, Manny ThaGod, ThaGod. I don't even know what other platform. Are there other platform? I'm not on TikTok.
I noticed that, but
they banned me, so not on there. But look out for a tour announcement very soon. We are like minutes away from getting this commercial back, and then I can announce it. But look for that.
Dude, that's amazing. Well, I'm excited to put this out, man. I can't wait to see that. That's congratulations, brother.
Thank you.
All right. Well, look, guys, thank you, Manny, for coming out, man. We will see you guys next time. God bless.
God bless.